Erica. You gonna do the honors and clap, my nigga?
Let's get it. Welcome to the 36. Are we doing that? My bad.
Oh no, go ahead. You know, you do. No, the intro's on you. You popped it off.
Welcome to the 32nd episode of the Get the Goods podcast.
32.
I'm so excited about the conversation we're gonna have today. I got with me Jamel Campbell Gooch.
Yes, sir.
Who, if y'all remember, is a public figure. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Right?
Be clear.
Known out
I
here.
got to my left.
You felt unsure about that left though.
Mike Floss.
Yeah.
Damn, you forgot his name?
No, I had to make sure I had my left.
I don't get like no.
No,
like,
I was about to
she didn't
say,
even say
okay.
that,
right?
All right,
Mike
let's hear it.
Floss, legend
yeah.
in Nashville, Tennessee.
World one down here.
World Wonder, right? Actually, musical artist legend, but now it's a sewing machine legend. Okay? If y'all remember.
Sewing machine legend though. Sewing machine legend.
He
Sewing
really
machine
got
legend
sewing
is crazy.
machines that he know how to use. That's
So-
hard. How many people know how to sew?
Shit, I don't.
Not you.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
I don't.
Is it because women have lost their way in today's society?
Woo, Lord Jesus. He just looking at the trigger.
Women used to sew, right?
They be trying to trigger Erica.
I don't know.
You don't know?
I don't know who sewed.
Oh.
Sewn.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Women do be sewing.
Right. Still?
Tracks.
So ends.
So we know how to sew. Thank you. Actually, y'all like how I brought
We
that
need
on
a
back.
call. We need a call in. So too many sew-ins.
No,
Not enough call
We can
in.
do both. We can do both. We can do sew-ins. Women. I mean, everybody need to know how to sew. All the things. Sew ain't got no.
So a
gender.
seed.
Huh, come
Yeah.
on. Just sewing. Got 3 ways for you to sew right now.
Well, look, this is the Get the Goods podcast. We back for episode 32.
Yes, sir.
We gonna find a way to get this thing on a regularly occurring schedule.
No,
Okay,
for real.
we do a lot of things, but we making time for this podcast. We prioritizing it. So if you've heard more than one episode of this, thank you so much for being there. If
No,
you're a
for
new
sure.
subscriber to our YouTube channel, thank you so much for being there. We're just
Welcome,
getting
welcome,
started, getting fired up, and hopefully, we can grow this thing. But the way we always started off, what's going on in the news, y'all? What y'all been seeing?
So we definitely in the midst of a boycott.
Right.
Al Sharpton's.
Al
Yep.
Sharpton's
I bet not see nobody at Cheesecake Factory,
what else?
Sedona,
run
Old
it down.
Charlie's,
Yeah,
Logan's,
yeah,
Walmart,
yeah,
Target,
Yeah,
on
what you gonna
Friday
do?
the 28th.
What you gonna do
okay?
when you see him in there? Ooh, take a
What you
photo.
doing? I'm only coming to see who in there. I'm not shopping. I'm not getting no meals.
Why you had that bad?
What bad?
This ain't a to-go box. I didn't order anything.
Nah, for real, but I fixed lunch today at home. Then for dinner, I ate leftovers with y'all.
What's up?
And
There
then
it
I had a
is.
cupcake from 3 days ago. So I really held it down today. Shout out to
From
me.
a black-owned business.
Yeah.
Shout out Cupcake Collection.
Come
Yeah.
on, really.
Get the
They
sweet
do
potato.
The Lord's work.
But yeah, okay. So the boycott is happening. What do y'all think this means for like the climate of our folks in this time and like where the energy is?
Yeah, I was just thinking earlier, I was like, oh yeah, a few weeks ago there was a day without immigrants or day without migrants. And then today there's this, and then folks were supposed to be fasting from Target. I held it down, okay?
Fasting.
For real, Target fast.
Target fast.
.com or org. I can't remember which one it is.
Target fast.
Jamal Bradley net. I'm cool with the Target fast, okay? I'm like,
Yeah.
people mad, they don't want to shop at Target. I got you. Say
Nah,
less,
for real.
okay? And then now there's is it called Blackout Day?
I don't know. What
I
the
heard
hell
it was called Al Sharpton's DEI boycott.
Nah.
It's several. It's several
A
different
lot of
boycotts
people
happening
are
at one
pushing it
time.
though, which I just think that it's kind of cool that people feel like we have to do something, right? And there's like we're building our muscle and our energy and increasing our capacity to really do things together. So I think that it's a good practice. And now I'm like, how do we build on that momentum and go deeper in our work to really transform the country to build the power that our communities need to address like real needs right now. So yeah, I'm seeing it as like a muscle building. Like
For sure.
people who ain't never did stuff before is doing this.
Yeah,
That's a step.
No, it's something.
I was gonna say something, but then it sounded a little dark. But I'm still gonna say it because somebody gonna think it's dark.
Okay.
Black folks know how not to do something like
that's
this.
true.
You know what I'm saying? ain't that dark as hell, right? But for real, like we have actually mastered the art of like an economic boycott. Like it was at one point in time in our community where this might have happened every like 15 years. It's like, okay, we're not rocking with you, so we're not gonna do it. You know what I'm saying?
Remember when people was mad at Tommy Hilfiger in the 90s? Was it the early 2000s?
Yeah,
I do.
That's what
When
I'm talking about.
It was
This is what I'm talking about.
vibes, and I was like, I know.
Listen, my mama came into my room and threw all of it away. Like, like she was like, "Oh, okay,
Oh, I forgot
we not wearing this no more."
You know what? That's interesting.
Yeah, black folks know how to do that now. We know how to, and I think that's just us. I think right now we're in a moment where not only do people feel like they need to do something, but that collective energy is working its way through the our community.
Even if it's not everybody, I think the people who are doing it, I'm interested in working with them, knowing more about them, how we can, align and work together, the folks who are interested in it. And even with like targeting, like DEI is not liberation, right? And so I'm clear about that. And I'm also like, okay, people are upset with Target. They asked us to sit it out to make a point. And I'm like, it's a part of like just building solidarity. I'm like, cool, I don't have to shop at Target. And also, I'm going to be real. The other reason why it was easy for me to not shop at Target is because my Target, everything's locked up. And so I'm already like, why I'm shopping here anyway? They got soap locked up. Why are toothbrushes locked up? I'm not rocking with this.
Nah,
they
for
got the stuff you use to wash your clothes is locked up. So even y'all already treat me wrong. I'm okay. I don't have to shop here.
That's real.
What you think about it?
I think the people who ain't rocking with it are interested too. Because the folks that's like, that ain't gonna do nothing, that's da-da-da-da, heard you.
Yep.
So now what are we gonna do? Since you have an idea of like doing something greater, there's a lot of opportunities to plug in with the Southern Movement Committee specifically. Yep. You know what I'm saying? To like, to kind of satisfy a channeling of the energy that you're trying to channel. So I think it's what our folks is talking about, and I think whether you're on either side of the line, you still showing an interest in like doing something greater. Yeah. So it's a dope time.
Yeah. That's real. Yeah. Except for the people who are like, it ain't, I'm not for it because all is lost, and I'm like, you know what?
Oh yeah, well that's
can't be lost. But even them.
What they say on 12 Years a Slave, I will not fall into despair.
Only see that movie once.
I'm so crazy. I saw it twice with a girl.
Whoa.
Yeah, I don't know why we did that. Same girl both times.
Dangerous.
When I saw it,
we was so like, trauma bonded by the movie.
For real. I
never watched that more than once.
In the movie, like boo-hooing. I was like, oh no, and it really actually complicated my relationship with God, which was very interesting. Helped me like kind of evolve how my concept, how I like my conceptualization of God. But that movie broke me down. I couldn't read the book.
Yeah. The only reason I did this brought me up to this because we talk about like 12 Years a Slave. But another thing that's been bringing me joy is Jamal Bryant. Has been going he's been going at the great again Negroes. Oh my God. He's been going, oh my God. Like they are at war with Jamal Bryant, and he is winning.
And he has a massive platform
for sure.
Like we've seen pastors be pro Black liberation in the pulpit before, but to be that big, talking like that, I don't know if we've ever seen that.
Yeah, that's AME born and raised. Just want to name that.
I gotta name it. We know Richard Allen would be proud. Lord Jesus,
I gotta name it. But my news is one reason why we probably do need to stay home and not shop as much is there's a measles outbreak.
Get your mask on.
Yep.
If you watch the YouTube, put it on at home.
130 cases. But for real,
in the world,
in Texas, it came out. It's been spreading in Texas.
What they doing in Texas? It's in the hookah.
Nah, it's kids. It started with some kids. It's a young person
because they're not vaccinating children anymore.
Yeah, and they say it's really hard on young people and their lungs and stuff. And so it's been really hard on. It's hard on their bodies. One child unfortunately did pass away from it. Yeah. And so it's spread to other states too, like Kentucky, New Jersey. I was really looking into it and have been seeing some stuff around it, but it's extremely contagious. And so, COVID never went away. You got the measles, RSV, norovirus. I believe that's what it's called. And
I told you to make you put your mask on. I told you
should be wearing a mask and wash our hands for real. And the flu. I forgot about the flu.
You don't wash your hands?
What else?
People don't wash their hands well sometimes.
What else is horrible that's going on? Bring us down some more.
It's a lot going on, and the infrastructure is crumbling. And so, it ain't funny, for real. I mean, y'all know
the walls is closing in.
Nah, like, okay, what we finna do? Because y'all know the federal government is in horrible hands right now.
Mm-hmm. Get off.
I was surprised that the CDC did put out a statement and said, actually, the measles is an issue.
That person is fine.
We're supporting it.
They ain't there
and then
no
they
more.
also said, the best way to address it is to, get, of course, the vaccine. And so, yeah, infrastructure is crumbling, and people are really seeing the real impact of this administration. And not to say that infrastructure hadn't been crumbling, like people hadn't already been experiencing the impact of of neoliberalism, but right
what
now,
is that?
Where they take social services and privatize them, and so and restrict and reduce them, and so that has been happening consistently. We see that in rural Tennessee, where they've been closing hospitals. It's been really difficult for people to access healthcare, and so that is increasing. Like those type of issues are increasing across the country, and especially will continue to do so in Tennessee. And the measles outbreak and how people will experience it, unfortunately, will be impacted by the state of healthcare as well.
No, for real.
So, wow. Any reason we should have hope right now? Y'all got a reason?
I hope so.
Yeah, I got a couple of reasons. I think like the Office of Youth Safety is presenting
Is that your news?
Major opportunity. No, I've been talking about news the whole time, but I think that's a great opportunity. You know what I'm saying? Like I think we're in a very good place with the Office of Youth Safety. We're in a spot where we're about to, we're working alongside other elected officials to hire a director. Mm-hmm. So I think we're at a very good moment, and it's budget season, so we're getting into the campaign mode, and we're coming off the State of Black Tennessee Town Hall, which there was a lot of hope there.
For sure,
a lot of action steps, a lot of next steps. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying, and really a call for people to get involved locally. Mm-hmm. Start with the basics, PTO meetings.
Yep.
Yeah. Go to those neighborhood meetings.
It's so
Go to
exciting.
That stuff.
Really it is. The other kind of exciting thing is that Athletes Unlimited Pro Basketball is in Nashville, and I think I saw where they're coming back. They're coming back next year too. And so folks have been going to those games, and it looks like people have been having a really good time.
Pretty lit.
And so I'm going tomorrow.
It does look like a good time.
Yeah.
Tomorrow's the last one, right?
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Is it?
I'm pretty sure.
Is it? Oh well, thankfully I get to go.
Right.
My mama got tickets, so I'm gonna go check it out. But yeah, that's some good news. Yeah. I'm gonna make sure I'm
masked up.
Yeah.
Show me the hazmat.
Yeah.
Whole body.
No, for real, because we do need to take care of each other.
You're gonna look like you're in a back room.
I'm serious. Yeah, I don't think it's a joking matter that actually people can be really vulnerable to like these particular diseases, and we got to care for each other. And so that means masking, really washing our hands, taking clear caution, like being really cautious about what's going on. I think we should do those things.
I just had a framing when the thing first started where they had to tell people to wash their hands. I just thought to myself, how many nasty people am I around all the time?
All the time.
I wash my hands.
They're not washing their hands, bro.
Ain't nobody ever had to tell me
don't read science journals, because that's the reason why when I go to restaurants, I don't get fountain drinks.
Oh Lord.
Studies on that.
They got the bubonic plague and the Sprite.
It's something else. No, it's how many people touch it.
Oh Lord,
yeah,
that's crazy.
And what people have on their hands.
But Mike, where have you been? Paying attention to? Because Erica gonna keep us doom and
I'm trying to find.
We gonna
find something bright.
It's
okay,
reality.
I got a piece of news that I saw.
Big reality.
And I'm open to printing a retraction in the next episode if this ends up being inaccurate.
Erica,
but y'all know the plane crashes, right?
Yep. Falling out the sky.
I saw something that said it's actually been fewer plane crashes this year than in all the past years.
Yeah, I've been seeing that.
Be quiet.
So they're saying the news the current state of the government is fear mongering to create that tension.
I can see that though.
To make a reliance on.
I can see that though.
I think I just want to reconcile with the fact that the amount of people who unfortunately died in the plane crash that's something that hasn't happened in the last 15 years. So that is like
it's the amount of people.
Yeah, it was like that amount of people. Like there was a smaller plane crash here. I think last year
like
not far from like in closer to like outside of like North Nashville.
Plane like landed on the highway.
Yeah, it was like, but it was like five, maybe less than five people.
A small computer,
but over 65 people is like actually really huge and really extremely drastic. And so that is a real fear. Like because I'm not on private planes, like that ain't my jam. But I do fly Delta, and so I'm like, that's not safe. Like they weren't able to catch that. And then what happened in Toronto, like that was also a bigger plane as well.
But nobody got hurt in that one, right?
No.
I heard they gave him 30 bands.
Yeah, that's
that ain't enough, but that's a lot.
No, it's not enough.
30 bands ain't enough, but it's a lot.
It's been a lot, but maybe like even like what's happening on planes where it's like, oh, they're smoking things, how some complications might not be new, but I can see why it's like it's more attention going to it. Is it fear mongering, or is it like I will say this? What is interesting though is that like depending on who's in office and a thing happens, it does the news may talk about it differently. So when migrants were being like picked up by ICE under the Biden administration, it was not an atrocity. Right. But now that it's Trump, it's like, oh my God, this is horrible. It's like,
it's the same
it wasn't
thing.
horrible when it was Haitians. When
Biden,
you know what I mean? So it's like those things. Like that I think that
the slant.
Right, the slant. So I think that is actually really, really true. Yeah.
Okay. Any other news y'all got?
I got a question for both of y'all. What was a high point at the State of Black Tennessee Town Hall for y'all? It was just like a point that you gonna like never forget, that you like, hey man, that was wild. That happened at the 4th annual.
Ivan Andrews' speech was really great.
Shout out
Ivan's speech was so good. Tell a friend. It was amazing. It really was like grounded in like what it means to like grow up and be in Nashville and be a creative, but also be in your city, like be from the city, live in the city, and want to do something to like change and be a part of things in your city as a creative. And I thought that was really, really powerful because sometimes we like it's not a lot of people that we know who are in Nashville like really leading and things like that who are from Nashville. Or at least it feels like each day it gets fewer and there are less people that you can say, oh dang, you from Nashville. So I thought that was really beautiful.
And that's a hard dynamic to explain.
Yeah.
I would say for me it was an energy thing, but I remember at one point I looked up at the crowd. It's like 200 plus people in there, and nobody's on the phone.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying?
Real.
I looked in the crowd and I saw nobody on the phone. Everybody was just glued to the front of the room. And I was like, that's different. You like, especially like for something that could be, heavy a little bit, and have a certain level of intensity, like for everybody to be locked in like that. I don't know if I've seen it in that way. Yeah. So that was interesting to me. So and it kind of showed, I think it kind of showed where people's hearts and minds is in this time. Yeah.
To not be on your phone is wild.
For 2 hours.
And it was young people in there too, so they weren't on their phone.
No, I saw this. He was looking.
Really?
Yeah. He was asleep last time. Shout out. shout out to young boy.
He was knocked out last. That's not a lie. That's not a lie.
He said he got sleep this time.
Yeah.
That's real. Jamel, my highlight. I said my highlight. Yeah. What was yours?
I think it was like a mix of the energy. Oh, the program flow. It's like the program flow. It was very like we moved in and out. People transitioned.
It was up and down.
No one tripped over chords. Right. Nobody fumbled the mic. Like nobody did anything like that was. Nobody hit the table and knocked it over.
Yeah.
Like it's like people. It flowed, and so I think that's one thing. It was just well executed. Everybody involved executed it well.
Shout out Pastor Tucker and Beach Creek.
Yeah.
For letting us get into space and really do some impactful work.
Yeah.
I love the speakers also. They did an amazing job. The meet and greet was also probably one of my favorite because people got to really connect with each other.
We should probably do that more often.
More about each other. Yeah, that was
at more events.
That was beautiful. And it was so many young people too. It was like so many different ages. But I'm just really mindful like 8-10-year-olds who were like there and like who were engaged, and then they was like, I need to move around, went outside, came back in. Like, I thought that was really dope.
Yeah. So we do a town hall at the top of every year.
Yes, sir.
If you didn't get a chance to go, we do one at the top of every year, State of Black Tennessee, to kind of set our political priorities and get our hands on, like, wrapped around the landscape of what's going on in the state.
Yep.
And folks find ways to plug in and engage and learn new information. So we'll be doing another one top of next year.
Yes,
you
sir.
know what I mean? Without fail. But it is up on YouTube. So definitely by the time this comes out, it'll be up on YouTube in a great way. And we will make sure that you receive invites to the upcoming town hall.
Yes, sir.
But we're going to move on to the next segment. Well, let's get some personal updates. I'm curious, Erica, what's been going on with you?
What have I been doing? Oh my God.
Yeah.
You know what I've been watching like once a week?
Oh, Lord.
Wicked.
What?
It's so good.
Still?
Yes. Okay. So I don't know if other folks have this, but whenever I feel down or it's like cloudy outside, or even when I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm like drowning in work, I turn on a TV show or a movie that is like aesthetically like warm. So like Jane the Virgin, because it's shot in Miami, it's like really sunny, and things are bright and vibrant. And then unfortunately they took it off of Netflix. So I haven't been able to watch it. But the first time I watched Wicked, I rented it and I was like, oh my God, this is one of the top 3 movies. And then I watched it again, and I watched it again, and so I have to listen to the soundtrack at least once a day. And I know I sound obsessed, but it's because it's so good. Because can I just say the thing that's so amazing?
Okay.
Is, you know, there's this person who starts out and she's like, really, you know, people are mean to her, people are harmful to her, and she gets the chance to say, hey, I can actually level up in society. People are going to have to respect me and at least act like they care about me, because she's going to be positioned with this person in power because of her gift. And she sings this really beautiful song about it. And so when she...
How'd the song go?
How's it go? I can't remember right now. But
sing it
meet
from
the
your heart.
when I meet the wizard. Oh, my goodness, she sings it so well. It's not talking about meet the wizard, okay? She's like, when I meet the wizard.
You think she's talking about the Lord the way you did?
No. She's not, because the reason it's not the Lord, because the wizard is like a fraud.
Yeah,
you know.
we know.
But I didn't know till I saw the movie.
You weren't tapped in on the Kendrick and Drake beef.
Oh wow!
There were so many opportunities.
Dang, for real, I gotta go back. Okay, so. But she gets the chance to meet him and maybe make her dreams come true. And she's like, actually, the animals are hurting. My heart's desire is not for you to change me. My heart's desire is for you to help the animals. And I'm like, oh my God, the heart to do that. And so then she finds out the wizard is like not real. And then
we did.
I love the movie.
Hey.
Okay, so that's what's been going on with me. I can talk about the wizard, but also, I mean,
She gonna do a play-by-play.
The whole thing. The whole thing.
No,
From A to Z, it wasn't
We
gonna
don't
stop.
care that much, bro.
It wasn't gonna stop, bro. It wasn't gonna stop.
Because people sat and listened to people talk about the Kendrick and Drake beef and the Super Bowl performance, but
We didn't do that on the pod.
We never did that.
a lot of podcasts did though.
But then it wasn't this one. So I don't know what you're talking about.
Yes, I've been watching The Wicked. I mean, it's called The Wicked.
Okay, what character would you be in Wicked?
That's good.
Oh my God.
Girl, one. You got one option.
I would of course be Elphaba.
Who is that?
Throp.
That's the green one?
Yeah, it's the green one.
Okay,
also, my
cool.
name starts with the E, and my like on my mom's side where it's Tharps, so it's there. Who would you be?
No. Jamel, what's been going on in here?
I had a question. I had a very serious question. Because you just said the name, but what about the character do you identify with? Other than the name?
Yeah. A person who like has a heart for the people, for people who are experiencing oppression, and sees that how it is connected to my own survival and my own life. And so, yeah, I really resonate with that. But it takes a lot of courage to do that, because they call her wicked.
Hey. Do you see how you just kind of go a tad bit too far?
You're going off the rails.
Do you see how somebody would maybe think you might be a little obsessed?
Okay.
You go a little bit too far.
Ask Jamel what's been going on in his life.
I'm about to.
Yeah.
Jamel, what's been going on in your life?
I have nothing that I'm obsessing over like Erica is obsessing over.
I'm an obsessive person, okay?
I know.
That's why I be like,
we're gonna come back to
you can't eat meat, because when I eat meat, I eat all the meat.
Pause.
I eat all the chicken. Take that out. Take that out.
No, we leave it in. No. And you eat the same chicken every day. Like, that's the obsessive part about it.
Germantown Pub was getting all my money when I ate chicken. Okay, what's been going on in your life?
I've been listening to Albert King blues.
Ooh.
So like I realized blues. I thought blues was on some sad stuff. I really realized that they be on some like super player. They don't be on nothing sad. They be on some. Yeah, I can't. It's one song about this man dating this woman on the west side of Chicago. And he's telling his other woman in Mississippi, he's like, I'm going to Chicago, but you can't come. And he tell him, because I'm about to visit my lady in West Chicago. He tell him straight out, it ain't no sneaking around. He's like, he's like, baby, you can't come. He's like, baby, you can't come.
He probably.
But I'm gonna be in Chicago with my other shorty though.
What?
I was like, wow.
What'd she say? Because I know he said what she said.
It's a one direction. No. This is one directional. It sounds like he leaving out the door. It don't sound like it's like.
He like, just to let you know.
Just let you know.
But he probably took care of him. She probably cooked him a little meal for the trip.
Oh, yeah, she packed him a sandwich.
She packed him a sandwich. And look.
He getting on the train. So that's been one thing I've been on. Then the other thing, you know, I've just been getting more adjusted to being a homeowner. I mean, when you're a homeowner, you know, shit just always be going. You always find some shit. My heat went out.
Nah, y'all was cold when it was 12 degrees
Man,
outside.
listen, my heat went out. My heat went out. So I had to get that like fixed. And I mean, that when you like are purchasing a home, some shit always go down.
I do want to like really put in the atmosphere. I'm ready for a 2-person income house. I need that.
You can see how that would work better, huh?
I need it bad.
Nah, it ain't no lie.
I need that bad.
It ain't no lie, bro. I need to click up.
How much income would the second person need to be coming in with?
Oh, here we go. Oh.
They just need to be blessed and highly
no, that ain't how that work.
No.
That's not how that work.
No, I need a number.
That's not how that work.
Amount.
What's the minimum?
They just gotta have a job.
Part time?
Retail?
Any full-time job anywhere is a full-time job. My daddy say a job is better than no job. Okay.
So any job.
Any job.
Tips
that's
included?
not an evil job, you know. Of course. Yeah.
What would be considered an evil job?
I feel football player.
Nah, they holler.
He said the NFL get passes now.
We ain't worried about no CTE.
Aaron Pierre. That's me fussing.
What is wrong with this? What is wrong?
She
just came out of the blue with that.
He said he got to make how much Aaron Pierre make.
Oh, that's what you saying.
A specific number.
Not saying that.
That's good.
No, I'm just
that's
saying,
good.
That's Mufasa. You know what I'm saying?
Interesting.
Yeah.
Would that be technically class suicide? Technically?
Aaron Pierre and Mufasa?
Does class suicide only work one way?
Hold on.
Well, that's a good question.
What you mean?
That's a good question. I don't know.
Yeah, I think only work one way.
So if you broke
I don't know.
and you get with a billionaire, that's not class suicide?
Then one of y'all favorite rappers try that?
Who? What?
What's that one called?
What are you talking about?
Oh, Jay Electronica. He was with a Rothschild.
He was with a
Yeah, that was class suicide.
Yeah.
That was
He read it a little backwards. He
didn't understand really what that meant. He was seeking a higher knowledge of self.
Okay,
he lost himself. So you've been on blues. How you find the blues music?
I don't know how I find. I don't know, man. You know what? So
you be finding good songs.
So it's a very particular feel. Like sometimes I just be feeling like an alien. So it's like I try to play the mental game where it's stuff that reminds me of something, right? So like ever since
you came from,
right, but sometimes it's just energy on stuff, right? Yeah. So like, and this is gonna sound maybe a little, I don't know. So like ever since I started wearing a cowboy hat, like I feel like it is right,
like a tycoon,
like right? No, for real, you know, like somebody of prestige. Like honor me when I walk in the room. And what's crazy,
you a public figure.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
What's crazy is, but when I wear a cowboy hat, it actually happens. Like
for sure.
People shake my hand, like, you know what I'm saying? Like they grabbing that mug. You remember when we was in Cuba and they had like the statement from Fidel, and he was like, yeah, when I just wore my soldier outfit everywhere, people respected me more. Right? It's kind of like the same. For some reason, the cowboy hat got some energy on it. So, well, I said all that to say, one day I was just at the crib by myself, like feeling down, and so I just started like trying to find some music. And Albert King, like I just was looking for electric guitar. Albert King popped up, "Born Under a Bad Sign," and so the thing about what I listen to is when you find one song, you can it'll just start playing multiple songs like that. So I was starting to listen to like old school rock, like blues. I was listening to all that, like BB King live, Blues Power live. I started listening to all that real fast, and I just realized I'm like, oh, like this energy is what LLs feel like. You know what I'm saying?
Because when I was in Tennessee,
when I was in LLs in Paris, Tennessee, I ain't know nobody in there, but they felt like home. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So that's how I found it. I be trying to just play that mental game of like, when I feel alone, I can tap into those things to feel like grounded.
Yeah. Okay.
Is a better way to put it.
Nice. I love that. Yeah, because you put me onto the Gap Band.
You're my high. That's how I found that too.
Yeah, nah,
you know what I'm saying?
Oh, you had never heard of the Gap Band?
I heard of them, but I wasn't listening to them.
Oh, okay.
I heard of Charlie Wilson.
So the Gap Band has a song called "You Are My High." And when I first sent it to Erica, she was like, "This is kind of intense." I take Erica back, saying, "People don't love like this no more."
Nah, they don't.
Like what he's saying in this song, I'm like,
And
I never heard
The whole
nobody.
song is like 4 lines.
Yeah, it's just and it's like a meditative state. Oh my goodness,
It is a
love
meditation.
It is a meditation state.
Yeah.
The bar where he's like time with you erases all of my lonely
That's
nights.
good.
I'm like, oh my God, that is crazy.
That's
Like I
good.
ain't.
Yeah.
And also it's foreign because I ain't never felt that type of way. So when I'm like listening to it, I'm like, oh, this is access to an emotion that I don't understand really because I ain't never really felt it, but I know I got the capacity to.
Right, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
They have another. My bad. Go ahead.
Somewhere in there is a conspiracy theory, but we'll come back to
real.
that. We'll come back to that.
It is somewhere there. It's,
Yeah.
They have another song on there like "I'm in love with you," where it's basically the same lines over and over. He's like, "I'm in." Yeah.
If I could say one more thing.
Go ahead.
Okay.
So after hearing those songs, and if you listen to that whole album,
The whole album is good. Yeah.
Love songs written by Charlie Wilson.
Yeah.
So now I'm like, now I know why my mama was like, that music you listen to ain't music for real. I now understand because it's like what capitalism does is I remember Kwame Ture was saying something. He was saying you could purchase a car in 1972 and they'll sell it to you like it's better. But the car you got in 1965 is actually a better car, right? It's because capitalism likes to microwave things. It likes to give it to you quick. So what the older folks were actually observing, if they grew up on BB King, Albert King, James Brown, Chuck Berry, if they grew up on these classics and then they hear Soulja Boy, they're gonna be like,
Hold up now. Don't.
Big Soulja.
We will never disrespect Big Soulja on this platform, but I do understand what
He
you
was
mean.
the first to call out Drake. Not gonna hold you. Wasn't he?
The light-skinned nigga from DeGeneres?
Who wants to hide his kid from the world? Why hiding the world from his kid?
Bro, but also in that time, artists was older. A lot of them artists was older, and then in the modern era, the music business realized they could get young artists, similarly to student loans. I can get you to sign a ridiculous loan.
Oh, that's what happened.
Capitalism
And
again.
I can exploit you.
Yeah.
And the little bit of brilliance you got, we gon' stretch it out
Pull it
as
out.
much as we can. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's that. That's a good point.
Are there any contemporary like artists that are similar that are like, oh no, they in love? Like
Leon Thomas.
Oh my
Yes,
God.
that's what I was
that
gonna
whole
say.
album?
Man, that's what I was gonna say, bro. That's what I was gonna say. I was
need
gonna say Leon Thomas. It's one guy that sounds just like, who is it that sounds just like Marvin Gaye?
October London.
Yes.
Yeah, no, he's good. Too.
October London sang this behind off.
Yeah. But Leon Thomas,
Leon Thomas
I
said
do.
something.
Whole album is good.
I will also say Patrick Daly.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
Give me the spirits, boy.
Absolutely, yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Patrick,
Look.
shift the energy in
Shift the atmosphere.
The whole in the room.
No.
Yes, sir. Yes,
the whole
sir.
state felt that. Okay.
Nah, for real.
And feels it. Yeah, absolutely.
Well, Mike, what you been on?
Yeah.
Well, I have been sewing, but one of the lessons I have learned, and one of the things that's teaching me more about myself in sewing, is the need for patience. Like the need for patience. I worked on a shirt for like a week,
Oh whoa.
and I started every spot that I rushed in, I got it wrong. Every time I tried to move the machine too fast, I messed it up. I tried to skip a step, ripped it. Something happened that was completely avoidable.
Yeah.
But because I was impatient, it went wrong. And I was like, oh, this is life. Like, you really can't skip steps. Mm-mm. You really can't be mad at, I can't use the timeline of like when you purchase a shirt and when you get it in your hand, even if you order it online, you know, you might get it in 3 days, depending on where you're ordering it from, whatever. And it take me 7-8 days to sew a shirt.
Right.
And I'm like, I'm trying to get through with this, because I'm used to when I see something that I want, I'm able to just do whatever amount of work to say, okay, I can get this, and then get it. But with creation, you don't get to rush through that process. And I think that's kind of like in life, I try to do that all the time. You know, you skip stuff, you be like, but some of it is to try to prevent. I have a perfectionist nature, so some of it is to be like, I just need to finish. I need to cross the finish line. So sometimes 80% is acceptable, opposed to not finishing the thing. But no, it's just really teaching me how to slow down, be intentional, you know, and take my time with something if I want it to turn out the way I'm imagining it in my mind.
Yeah, that's real. I can definitely, that resonates, because I think that a part of like my whole journey this last year, that's why I'm so happy to get into March, has been like having to slow down and be patient. And that like all the healing and like breakthrough and, you know, just evolving that has felt necessary to me has taken more time than I wanted. But I'm like, every single step of the way, I'm like, oh no, I need to be patient here. Like, there's no one book or one thing that somebody's gonna say that's gonna make me be like, I get it now. Like, it takes a whole like months of just like reading, writing, journaling, like, you know, meditating to really get to like the point to get the point that I need. And so I appreciate you saying that.
Yeah.
What part of your life in the short term, so what part of your life you think is going to be most affected by you perfecting that type of like patience and process outside of creation?
I mean, I think it's like a multidisciplinary kind of thing. Like, I think it'll make the music better, because anywhere I can develop more patience, it's going to help. You know what I'm saying? It's going to help with my interactions with people, where I'm going to be like, okay, I might be ready to be wrapping this up.
You do. You be ready to wrap something up.
But maybe I need to sit here for a little bit. You know what I mean? And even if it's not to my benefit, it may be to theirs. But
does it feel like you get more time to process if you're patient?
100%. My mind is calmer. You know what I'm saying? And you're doing what you're doing on purpose. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you do stuff and it works, but you didn't do it on purpose. Yeah. It's like when you bowling.
You just throw that mug.
You just throw it as hard as you can.
And that mug strike.
You had no idea how to recreate that moment, but it was a strike. And I think a lot of times we move through life like that, especially if you like naturally smart or naturally talented at a certain thing or whatever. You kind of move through life off muscle memory rather than intention. And I think intentions, I think relationships, I think romantic relationships, family relationships, anywhere where you got to really like be patient and intentional. Dealing with my niece called me screaming on the phone the other day over and over again. She said all these gifts that she wanted, but she already had them. And her mama in the background saying, you have that already. She's like, okay, well, buy me a horse.
A horse?
I said, all right, I'm trying to be, all right, here we go. I got to go. But I'm like, no, let her get the whole list off.
Yeah, the whole list. Is her birthday coming up?
It just passed. Yeah.
Okay, got you.
She's 8, so.
Oh wow,
that's so cute.
You know how those FaceTimes.
Oh yeah,
can get a little long.
What they looking like?
Alrighty.
I've been waiting to tell somebody. I've been waiting to tell somebody this all day long.
Look, let's wrap this up, okay?
For sure.
Yeah.
All right, well, we're going to push through.
Yep.
We got on this day in history. We're going to do March 3rd. Or we're going to get in that ballpark. You know how we do. But March 3rd is the day.
Okay, I have one. This is March 3rd. It's the day that Vanderbilt actually expelled James Lawson for participating in civil rights.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
What year?
1960, which is so interesting because, February 13th, 1960 is when the student sit-ins happened. What, about 20-something days later?
Yeah, less than 30.
Who trained the students for the
James Lawson.
Well, no, James Lawson
was
expelled.
So they expelled him.
What was also wild is that
get him out of here.
Vanderbilt also I think last year, expelled students for protesting the genocide happening in Palestine.
Oh, you fire for that.
They've been consistent.
They consistent.
Yeah. No, they're going to do that. Yeah. Also, it was Vanderbilt Divinity. He was at Vanderbilt Divinity School student. So they suspended a Vanderbilt Divinity School
and they
student.
welcomed him back.
Yeah. Now they have an institute.
Decades later. And gave him
now,
an institute.
Now they have an institute, and I'm participating in a panel for his legacy coming up.
Oh, really? What are you going to talk about?
They want to talk about organizing work. And what's interesting, so the most interesting thing about James Lawson is, and this is what we call a back page historical thing, right? So there's no historical proof of this. It's just kind of understood that this might be what have happened. It's like a historical rumor that everybody say that's probably true. The civil rights movement put him at Vanderbilt Divinity. Because the students had written a letter to King saying, yo, we want some help. And they put him down here. You know what I'm saying? So it's also interesting how they use Vanderbilt Divinity as a cover to get the students training to do the civil rights work.
Yeah. There have been quite a few folks who have played, significant role in movement in Nashville who come out of Vanderbilt Divinity School. So that's good to know.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
What's yours?
So
is it the same thing?
No. So on my kind of ballpark, the reason why it's kind of ballpark is because February students did the sit-ins in Nashville, overwhelming all the institutions of segregation. So they would go on, those students that did leadership there, they would go on to lead in other areas. So John Lewis on March 7th, as chairman of SNCC on March 7, 1965. And just to be clear, this is
5 years after the city.
And this is the John Lewis that they was calling too radical to speak at the March on Washington. So this is not the one that he would go on to be. This is the young one. Right. He was doing the march. March 7 was the first day of the march through Selma. So there was the Edmund Pettus Bridge on March 7th. Yeah. Right, which would be later known as Bloody Sunday, right? The interesting thing about this historical nature is that SNCC, Student Nonviolent Coordinating Committee, which he was chairman of, was born out of relentlessness, right? And so although that Bloody Sunday happened, they came back 2 days later. Still couldn't make it across that bridge. So then they came back on the 27th, 25,000 strong, with every single person participating in civil rights on that bridge. I mean, everybody. They had Rosa Parks, Abernathy, King. They had every single person on that bridge. They even had Kwame Ture. Everybody was on that bridge after that point. So it's just a historical example of like the relentlessness that was born in Nashville through the Nashville student movement.
And work on the 60th anniversary is like in March, right? Yeah. I didn't. Thank you for saying that and making that connection to also Nashville, and that our historical facts are also connected.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Mine is March 3rd, 1989.
Oh, I was born that year.
Great, Erica. That's so great.
Would you like to have a segment about your birthday on the pod?
Yes, bro.
Just do it every episode. Yes. We got to talk about when Erica was born.
She would love to have a segment about her birthday. Yes. It should just be an update. What is Erica doing for her birthday now?
That's good. Won't you celebrate with me, right?
Girl,
okay, come on.
What's your historical?
Okay. Come on. March 3rd, 1989, De La Soul releases 3 Feet High and Rising.
Ooh.
That album has the song Me, Myself, and I before Beyonce.
Oh, okay.
Just want to put that out there.
Give us our history.
Me, Myself, and I. And for all the people who used to play PlayStation, I've been trying to find it was a skating video game. It had to either be Tony Hawk Pro Skater or another skateboarding game. But De La Soul, Me, Myself, and I was on that video game. And that's how I found out who De La Soul was. I had no clue who that group was. But through video games, I went down a rabbit hole of like 80s, 90s hip hop. Yeah.
So this is 80s hip hop.
I mean, it came out in 89.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But they kind of define the 90s though.
I'm an 80s baby, so 80s a little bit. But tell me this. I'm joking.
80s a little bit though.
What's the album about?
The album, well, see this, I don't feel like the album, I can't say I've studied the album well enough to give you that answer, but I will say this. In that time, I felt like that was the era of the, what they call the native tongues. So that was De La Soul, that was Tribe Called Quest. LOTNS, Leaders of the New School.
Super African.
Busta Rhymes. Super like, they was wearing dashikis,
Super
wooden
African.
jewelry.
Super culture.
It was like a rise of that. And that was rising at the same time of like where gangster rap was coming out of too, with NWA and all of that music. So it was kind of like the other narrative on the black experience that wasn't influenced by crime as much, or it wasn't, as people say, glorifying that stuff, depending on how you see that music. But yeah, it was kind of the other sector of what music was doing in that era.
Got you.
So if I can make a quick connection, so it's kind of like the shadow of Amiri Baraka's Black Arts Movement. So these are the folks that would have been kids, right? So they look like what we would politically call cultural nationalists. That's what they look like.
Yeah, that's what they look like.
But it's
lots of colors,
whole lot of colors.
You know what I mean? It was also like more respectful to women in that era. You know what I mean? It was like, you got Q-Tip casually saying cute raps in a girl's ear. You know what I mean? As opposed to California Love or something like that was going on at the same time.
California Love.
Tupac. Erica.
Okay.
We can't do this live on camera. You can't do that.
I know that one.
Can't do that. Don't do that. That's gonna be bad. That's a bad one.
I know that
I gotta find one that was from '89.
Yeah.
I know that. I know California Love.
But yeah, it was just different. I don't know if it was was it the California Love video where they ripped the girl's bra off?
I don't know, but it was
I can't
bad.
remember what.
That's
California Love,
California
Love got some wild stuff on
Yeah,
it.
that was wild.
Yeah,
that was
it
wild.
was some wild stuff
But
on it.
it was wild.
Yeah, it was a wild
Stuff
time.
happened.
And it got
Yeah, it was a wild time.
unfortunately wilder.
Yeah. No, for real.
Okay. So that's thank y'all
On
for
this
that
day in history. So we can push unless y'all got something else.
I don't
You
have
say
No,
something?
I was gonna say my conspiracy theory because I really
Come
want
on
to
with
see
it.
what y'all think
Come
about
on
it.
with it.
Okay, so this came from a deep dive of trying to figure out why do we love church mimes? Oh my God. I was like, why do we have church mimes in black churches? I was like, they don't. So I just went down a rabbit hole. I figured out they don't have them in no other churches except black churches.
You sure?
I couldn't find no reference.
It's no churches in like
Listen to me. Listen to me.
mimes in other churches.
Listen to me. I
didn't
could not
know
find. I could not find it.
Dang, for real?
I could not find
We
it.
love
Now-
her. We'll eat a mom up.
Come on.
Now,
What's
so-
the song? For every mountain?
still
Oh,
going?
the moms used to eat that up.
See, she's
Go
still
ahead,
going,
my
right?
bad. Sorry.
So I was trying to make my conspiracy theory move. So after doing a bunch of research, I actually think that the church mime is a leftover African spiritual ceremony. It's called the stick dance. It's where essentially a deity takes the form. It looks like a costume, but I wouldn't call it a costume because I wouldn't want to offend the people that practice this religion. And it spins real fast, and then it spins around in a circle really quickly. And so my thought, when I saw that, I was like, this is where that performative costume thing comes from. This is why they paint themselves white, because this type of African religion wouldn't be seen okay in a church. But when I saw it, I'm like, oh, this is where they get that perform, because they look. If you take that, if you look at the crowd reaction, you would think they were looking at the same thing, but they're looking at two totally different things. So I think like the church mime is some sort of leftover West African spirituality that we've kind of lost contact with.
That makes me feel so much better because I was a mime. I was a mime in the church.
Yeah.
And born again.
Oh, what was your favorite song to mime to?
Oh,
That's
Lord.
crazy.
Hold on, I need to know.
I was trying not to dive deeper. Erica trying to go deeper
I was a
into
low
it.
level mime. I wasn't a star. I wasn't a star.
Because they make stars out of born again.
I'm telling you, I
Nah,
wasn't
they
a
do.
star. I was a background mime.
Oh, dang.
Yeah, I was a background mime.
I know you was doing.
I was an angel one time. You know what I'm saying? You had to hit him with the put the wings out. You know what I mean? Because mine was really just pop locking at the. That's all it
what I'm saying.
was. Niggas was just doing Usher Raymond dances. With white paint on.
That's what I'm saying.
and gloves.
The outfits is so crazy.
Bro, they used to. I remember going into the children's church bathroom, and they had this white face paint, and we just in there just globbing it. But it's like a face. It's like a face mask.
Yeah.
So it getting dry.
No, it doesn't.
And it's cracking.
Yeah.
So you gotta put more. So you put more on trying to. Oh, cause church done ran late.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you just sitting in the back with this dry face paint on, and we like, yo, how How long is it finna be? Because my face is literally cracking and crumbling down onto my clothes. So, it was, yeah.
What was the song, though, that you used to listen to?
I'm going to say it's probably something by Yolanda Adams.
Got to.
Or CeCe Winans song. Okay. What's the CeCe Winans song? Because, we did mixes.
Oh.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
No, we didn't have just one.
Y'all CD didn't skip.
Right. We had a 6-minute mix for the mime set. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's probably, you remember the CeCe Winans song is Fill My Cup.
Lord. Oh, yeah. It was getting down to it.
And then the beat change.
Oh, the Alabaster Box. I know y'all used to eat on
Alabaster
that.
Box.
I know y'all.
That's fine. Okay.
Okay, that was good.
That's a good one. That makes me feel better. We got to find a picture of the stick man.
Yeah. No, I mean,
a picture you miming.
You could literally when you no, for real. You could literally Google it and you're gonna see like when you hit the video, you're gonna see a thing kind of just twirling, but pay attention to what people look like watching it. It's like, oh man, they having the same.
Yeah,
I know they're feeling on their face.
And then even thinking about like what we saw when we went to that place in Cuba when they were doing the deity performance, the young people was doing it. And they had face paint, they had costumes and stuff like that. I think it is some African spirituality in that. I never made that connection.
Just imagine that.
Santeria.
Yeah.
With Catholicism and other.
And Western African, they would call it voodoo. But it's but just imagine that, but way more elaborate. So when you look at it, you're gonna be like, this is a very like somebody really took their time for this. Just like when you're putting on that face paint and it's cracking, you got to put on more.
That's good.
I'm like it's a lot of
yeah.
And you got to think about it as a colonized people. We got to hide some of our things. Like we can't be that African. So we got to do something. Though.
Yeah, we have had to. Yeah. What was your other question, Mike?
I had a conspiracy theory.
Yeah.
No. Oh, I was finna say. I think the government corroborated with the music industry to stop signing singers that were really in love.
No, for real.
That makes sense.
That makes sense.
Because it ain't no love in the streets.
No, ain't no love out here.
People talking about how bad the dating pool is.
That ain't no love out here.
You got to be in love listening to that Marvin Gaye in the club. You gonna fall in love with that girl in the club.
Look
they slow.
Y'all gonna start a family.
No, for real. Yeah.
Oh, that's real.
Yeah. Cause you think about it.
That's what's wrong with my love life, the music industry.
That's everybody love life. Y'all sounding real conservative. That's everybody love life. Cause I'm like, do they even dance at parties when people go out? Like people dance.
It's all sections, bro.
It's
like ruined.
I saw a video. They look bored. I'm like, oh, I'm so glad I don't go out like this no.
Bro.
Yeah, no.
We gotta get
go to the right function.
With the right.
Say it more clearly.
Sets.
Spell it.
SETS.
Yeah, that was crazy. That was crazy, bro. I didn't know what you had said right there.
Sets.
And on that note,
yes, sir. Come on, man.
We're gonna go ahead and say thank you so much. This has been the Get the Goods podcast. If y'all got anything else on your hearts and minds you want to lead the people with?
Come out to the community dinner. We're going to eat some really good food.
When is it?
It's March 18th. Register on our website at rsmc.org/community dinner so you can reserve your plate and your spot. All right? And we're going to get into some civic education and do some campaign planning.
Yes, sirski.
Fire. Well, look, thank y'all so much. This is the Get the Goods podcast. Tell a friend about it. Shout out Ivo. Tell somebody about the podcast if they're interested in learning more about what's going on politically in Nashville. We cover a lot of those topics here. And if you're interested in community organizing and in our take on it from a on-the-ground perspective in 2025, man, tap in with us. Look, we work together. We win together. We win together.
We change the world. Yes, sir.